Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing a sensation from the 2006 model year, still going strong. It's the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean 600-meter GMT Deep Black. You can see this full ceramic coaxial chronometer, master chronometer, that is, GMT, on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean 600-meter GMT Deep Black. Now, the watch on my wrist is lighter than you might suspect for a watch nominally 45.5 millimeters across the round of the case from 9 to 3. The ceramic makes it so. Ceramic, for those who've experienced these watches at length, is quite a good deal lighter than virtually any metal save titanium or aluminum. So despite the size of the watch, it wears more like a 41 or a 42 in terms of mass. It is thick, however. There's no getting around the fact that this watch is 17.3 millimeters thick. There is a little bit of a tendency of a dress cuff to get stuck underneath the cantilevered outcropping of the bezel, so it may not be the best match for a tight sleeve, but it is compact across the wrist, as 52 millimeters from lug to lug means it wears considerably more compact than most near 46 millimeter watches do. I'll also clarify that because the lugs are relatively short cropped and the strap juts straight down as it exits the case flank, this one doesn't want to fight or flare against the curve of your wrist. It really does work well for a smaller wrist. The integrated aesthetic created by the conforming ends of the strap is very handsome, and you can see the watch looks all of a piece, black and red with a few white and silver accents. The strap is very supple and comfortable. You can see the textile pattern on the top, a contrasting red stitch, relatively sheer flanks, and then on the underside there's a small embossed pattern to allow it to aggress a bit and gain purchase on the wrist. I'm going to actually withdraw the strap from the clasp so I can show you the case back with better detail in a moment, but I want to emphasize that the clasp is an excellent piece. The clasp is made of titanium. As you can see, it's titanium on the inside, ceramic capped on the top. It features a minderless system, so extra strap length gets tucked in underneath the clasp, so there's no need for minder loops that clutter the design. You'll also note that there is a twin trigger release system, so it cannot accidentally pop open. The strap is also well made. As you can see, there's a broad strip of gussets along the perforations to avoid gouging or boring of a larger hole, mussing of the color, or otherwise disfiguring or disabling your strap. So thoughtfully made, robust, handsome, nicely integrated to the case lines, and the case lines are the classic Seamaster Professional. Of course, you have the bevel, you have the satin finish. This one is all in satin. Usually the bevels are polished. Here, the deep black concept includes all satin or grained finish atop the ceramic of the case, the ceramic of the bezel, and even the ceramic of the dial. Most of Omega's other ceramic dials feature a gloss finish. This one, in zirconium oxide like the case, is all of a matte coloration. I'll also mention the dial is matte, the case is satin. There is a distinction. I'll also mention that the watch has a handsome interplay of white, red, and black, which is a classical sporting tritone. Usually it's confined to dials, especially on chronographs. Here, it's blazing all over the case. Now, you do have the scratch resistance of ceramic. That's the advantage of a ceramic case. Besides lightness and hypoallergenic properties, it's effectively, in day-to-day use, as scratch resistant as sapphire. So it makes the watch highly practical in the sense that conventional scratches and scuffs that mar metal watches will not affect the ceramic. You do get the helium escape valve, so saturation divers, take note, it's there if you need it. Everyone else, it's a great talking point and a fun luxury addition. Again, having more than you need is luxury. The liquid metal inserts of the bezel sit between the wells of ceramic, so everything you see that is a number or a calibration is actually metal that has been permabonded to the structure itself, such that it can never separate from the bezel. The first 15 minutes of the bezel are achieved with a rubber insert. That's how that vivid red is achieved, standing out in relief against the black of the ceramic. It is a unidirectional rotating bezel, not a GMT style bezel, so it's a true dive bezel. You can line it up with the minute hand. The pearl and the minute hand glow in a different superluminova tone of green versus blue for the rest of the dial. Stay tuned for a lume shot at the end of this video, and you can see exactly what I mean. Now, the hands as well as the applied indices are polished white gold. The Tri-Arabics give the watch a splash of color and a little bit of a vintage vibe, but the rest of the dial is all business with white on black calibrations, a discrete date window at 3 o'clock, and I'm going to thread the crown out and demonstrate some of the functions. There is a function that allows you to set the local hour hand with its broad arrow end independently from the rest of the indications of the dial, and you can see the watch continues to tick and keep time. You can also pull the crown to extremity. Now you've stopped the balance, you've hacked or stopped the seconds, and you can move everything in sync. The GMT hand in red making one full circuit of the dial every 24 hours, allowing you to have a second time zone. One of the refinements of the system is that if you do move across the international date line in either direction, you can drive the date in either direction with no hazard to the movement. Screw the crown down. I'll mention that the crown is very easy to grip, and it has a wonderfully deep knurling that is chunky enough to easily grip and manipulate if your hands are wet, sweaty, or gloved. You can see in profile what I mean about the satin finish of the case. It's all matte, it's all glare resistant. Turn the watch over, and you can see that it features a gorgeous caliber 8906 twin mainspring barrels in series, providing 60 hours of power reserve. It's automatic winding with bidirectional action that has very little audible or tangible sensation of action on the wrist, so you can't really sense that the rotor is winding the way you can on a unidirectional winder like a Patek Philippe 324 or even a Valjoux 7750. The system is free sprung with a fixed index, so combine that with the dual anchored balance bridge. You can see there's a screw on each side of the balance. That's a full bridge. Makes the watch very shock resistant. There's also an SI14 silicone hairspring which renders the watch effectively amagnetic. Now, you saw the hacking seconds, you saw the time zone function, you saw the dual time functionality. The watch has a tri-level coaxial escapement which provides long-term timing stability, reduced maintenance requirements, and short-term timing precision. So it is a chronometer. It does meet the COSC standards, but it exceeds them because it meets the master chronometer standard established by the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology in conjunction with Omega. Now, that is a fully cased up test where the COSC is just the movement. The META's master chronometer standard applies to the entire watch, its resistances, its winding efficiency, its power reserve, its chronometric precision. All of that goes into the master chronometer designation. So that's actually what you're getting here. 600-meter water resistance, and that despite a display caseback, a rare combination. The watch has a broad range of talents. This is a versatile, all-purpose summer watch. Those of you with bigger wrists might even wear it every day. The combination of the red accents with the black in muted satin finish, surprisingly discreet when worn on a wrist of the proper proportions. A handsome and durable watch with a superior power reserve and mechanical provenance. You can see and you can purchase this full ceramic Seamaster Planet Ocean 600-meter GMT deep black on our website. And I'm back with the Omega Seamaster Professional Planet Ocean 600-meter GMT deep black. I promised you contrast between the minute hand and the luminescent pearl of the bezel versus everything else on the dial, and sure enough, here it is. You can see that the luminescence is calculated for maximum legibility and instant recognition. This is the deep black available on our website.